So how do you actually build a modern tech giant? I mean, is there some secret playbook for success? Well, today, we're going to try and answer that by mashing together three pretty unlikely things: a business simulation game, a professional code of ethics, and one single, really powerful word that might just change how you keep score. Let's get into it.
Okay, forget all the theory for a second. Let's make this real. As of right now, you're in charge. You've just been handed the keys to a brand new tech company. So, congratulations, you're the new CEO.
Your one and only mission: turn this little company into an absolute industry leader. Sounds pretty simple, right? But here's the thing. To win any game, you have to know the rules. And, maybe more importantly, you have to know the playing field.
So, before we can even think about a winning strategy, we've got to get a crystal clear picture of the world we're operating in. And this isn't just any market. It's a super fast-paced global tech arena where, the ground is basically shifting under your feet every single day.
These right here are the 5 big forces that are shaping our world. You've got constant innovation, new hardware, new software all the time. More people are using tech than ever before, but the market is also splintering into all these tiny little niche groups. Throw in sales channels that change overnight and some seriously fierce global competition, and yeah, you've got a real challenge on your hands.
And what are we selling in this kind of chaotic market? Well, these are your tools of the trade, your weapons in the fight for market share. You're in the business of making and selling smartphones, tablets, and gaming consoles. This is the foundation of your entire empire.
Okay, so we know the market and we've got our products. Now for the really fun part: strategy. How do we build a brand that actually stands out from the crowd? It all starts with one huge decision. Who exactly are you trying to sell to?
But you can't be everything to everyone. It just doesn't work. The market's basically broken down into these 5 types of customers. Are you going after the innovators, the people who just have to have the newest thing? Or the specialists who live and die by performance specs? Maybe the passionate crowd who fall in love with a brand's design? Or are you targeting the super practical savers or the cautious classic users? The most important part is you have to pick one.
And once you know who you're talking to, then you can build your brand's DNA. You have to match your brand's core identity to your chosen customer. So if you're targeting those innovators, you're probably going to lean heavy into technology. For the passionate folks, it might be more about that emotional connection and great design. This one decision is going to guide literally everything else you do.
So, there you have it. You picked your customer, you've defined your brand, your playbook is set. You are ready to go out there and just dominate the market. But, hold on a second. What if winning the game isn't the only thing that actually matters? What if there's a whole other set of rules we need to be thinking about?
And that's where our second source comes in. This one isn't about market strategy at all. It's about integrity. I want you to think of the CFA Institute's Code of Ethics not as some boring list of rules, but more like a moral compass, a guide for building something that doesn't just win, but actually lasts. This quote right here gets to the absolute heart of it: trust. Simple as that. Because without trust, markets fall apart, brands fail, and any success you have is going to be short-lived. And this isn't just about finance, It's about the trust that your customers, your employees, and the public put in you.
All right, now for the main event. We are going to put these 2 playbooks right next to each other. On one side, you have the aggressive, win-at-all-cost moves from the business game. And on the other, you have the non-negotiable ethical standards from the code. Let's see where they clash.
Okay, so your strategy says to go after innovators by promising the most futuristic, cutting-edge product ever. It's a great marketing move, but the ethical standard is pretty clear. You can't misrepresent your product. How much can you promise the future before it just becomes a flat-out false claim? That's a very, very fine line between visionary marketing and just misleading people.
Next up, aggressive expansion. Your playbook says to charge into new countries, flood the sales channels, and do whatever you need to do to box out the competition. But the ethical line is drawn at market manipulation. That competitive fire can't cross over into practices that are designed to distort the market or mislead everybody else who's playing.
This one really shows the tension. The game tells you to focus all your energy on your most profitable customers to get the highest score, but the ethical code demands that you deal fairly with all of your clients. So how do you balance that? How do you focus on your target audience while still holding up your responsibility to treat everyone with fairness?
So, you've played the game. You've made the strategic calls. You've navigated the tricky ethical spots. You turned a profit. You grabbed market share. But is that it?
Is that the final score? Is that really how we measure what you've built?
This is where we get to the final piece of the puzzle. We're going way beyond the spreadsheet now to find the ultimate prize, the real, actual measure of a successful company.
And it all boils down to this one single word: residuals.
So what on earth does that mean? Well, in this context, residuals are everything you've built that you can't just slap on a quarterly earnings report. It's the lasting, intangible value that's left over after all the numbers have been crunched.
Think about it. Your residuals are the trust you earned by not misrepresenting your products. They're the amazing reputation you built by competing hard, but also competing fair. It's the positive impact you actually had on society and the integrity that becomes the bedrock of your company's culture. That is the real score. That is your legacy.
So as we wrap this up, the final question isn't just for some imaginary CEO in our little simulation, it's for all of us. In the big game we all play, in our careers and our lives, what's the score we're really trying to maximize? What are the residuals that we're building?